Hi everybody, it's Midoriya. I'm just redoing my video now that I've gotten my lighting situation adjusted and you can see Addy's hair a lot more. This is my video tutorial on how to deal, quote unquote, with Addy's hair. I noticed on some of my doll forums that there's a lot of trepidation about how to do Addy's hair. And people were actually saying they would not get the doll just because they were concerned about the hair. And I'm not sure why, because she has beautiful, beautiful hair. And so I'm just going to go ahead and give this tutorial on how to do basic styles and to maintain her hair. I already took it out from the style it was in, and I'm just going to put it back into that style. It was a very simple style so that you could follow along. What I do is I go ahead and take Addy's hair out, and I'm going to go ahead and flip her around. Okay, I use two things when I do Addy's hair. The first one is my famous boar bristle brush, and what you can see is that it's just natural boar bristles with a rubber base. You can see that there, and wood on the back. And this works for all types of hair, from very fine, thin, silky hair to more coarse, textured hair. It's a smoothing brush. So Addy's hair, in my opinion, needs more smoothing than it does detangling, which is why I use this brush. And I also use my wig spray. I know a lot of you are pro doll owners, so you already know about the wig spray, or sometimes it's called braid spray. But basically what it is that it's a detangling and styling aid for wigs and other synthetic hair pieces. So I use this. And so I've already sprayed Addy's hair with it. I'll do it again though, because you really can't have too much. You just go ahead and mist it. Don't worry about her clothes, her cloth body, or her vinyl. It doesn't affect anything like that. I mean, you just wipe it off like you would water and keep going. It doesn't stain, it won't rot, it won't do any of that stuff, so you don't have to worry about it. Okay? So with any textured hair type, what you want to make sure that you do is you want to brush from the top to the bottom a little bit. And so what I do is just do this a little, okay? Just a little. Don't rip through. Just do it enough. As you can see, it's starting to smooth out. Now, because her hair was in braids, it's going to need to be detangled a little. And the way you go about it is this. You just take the end, okay, and smooth out the end. And then you work your way to the top of her head. So my strokes, as you can see, get progressively longer as I get up to the top of her head. Okay? There we go. And you can see how it's smoothing out nicely. And don't look for it to get pin straight or silky straight. Remember, this is a textured wig, so it's never going to do that. It's not supposed to be like that. That's the whole point of it being quote-unquote textured. Okay? And so we're going to, like I said, brush it a little, and then go ahead and work from the tip to the root and let your strokes get progressively longer. Okay? Okay, so that took, what, about a minute? Okay? That is really the secret to Addy's hair. I swear, it's the secret to Addy's hair. As I keep saying, it's not that serious. People are overthinking it. But really, that's the only thing that is different. You know, when I have a Felicity, I have a Kirsten, and I don't have to take that approach, especially with Felicity. I just kind of brush it, and then it's ready to go, right? But with Addy, you've got to do the tip to the root. And that's really the key to keeping her hair looking nice, okay? So then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do the cute 2 knots. I try not to do as many fancy styles because I've had this Addy since 1993. So her wig is very delicate because I played with her so much as a child. Okay, I'm going to try and do this backwards, so forgive me. And so you just braid it like normal hair. If you don't know how to braid, there's lots of tutorials on how to braid. I'm not going to teach you that because it's such a common thing. Okay, And so I'm just going to go ahead and try my best to braid it. And once again, you know, as long as the hair doesn't make that ripping sound, when you hear that ripping sound, when you separate the pieces like what I'm doing, then that means you haven't fully detangled enough. I would spray with a bit more braid spray, do the tip to the root, and then try it again. Okay? So we're just going to go ahead and just keep going. I know this is slow, but I'm doing it backwards, which is something I rarely do. And so you're just going to go all the way down. Now the fun thing about unstraightened African American hair, and sometimes more curly hair that other ethnic groups tend to have, is that it stays. With Kirsten and my Kaya, who I changed the hair texture of a little, so she doesn't have Kaya hair anymore, but I had to hold it at the bottom while I got my rubber bands and anything like that, you know, to keep it. Addy's hair, you don't have to do that. As you can see, it just stays in the braid, so I don't even do anything. When I let it, when I finish the braid, I just let it drop, and then I go to the other side. And then I just start braiding there, okay? And that's the really great thing that that a lot of the straight dolls, or straighter hair dolls rather, they don't have, is the ability for their hair to stay like that. As soon as you let go of a lot of their hair, it starts to unwind itself, which is very frustrating in my opinion, especially since I forget to, you know, put a rubber band or a bobby pin in my teeth, and I'm trying to hold it with one hand and fish around for my tools with the other hand. And so that's one thing that I really love about Addy's hair, is I actually find it easier to do than my other dolls, especially if you like to do different styles that are involve braiding or even involve curling. I may do a tutorial on that as well, because Addy's hair actually curls very easily and it's very pretty. I usually do it for Christmas. Anyway, so okay, so now Addy's hair is done. I'm just going to put it in 2 little knots, and you just keep winding it around. There's 1, and there is 2. If she had bigger hair, it'd be like Princess Leia, but it's just 2 cute knots. And there you go. You just have to adjust them so they're even, and there she is. So, I mean, it's not the best because I did it backwards. Obviously, it would have looked better if I had been face forward. But this is just to show that Addy's hair is very simple to do. Really, that's just all you need to do. There's really nothing specific other than what I've shown you. Just remember, brush it a little when you start, and then do tip to root. And before you do anything, put a little bit of braid spray. If you don't want to find braid spray, you don't know how to find braid spray, it's on the internet, or you can just use water. I prefer the braid spray because it's specific to synthetic hair. But you can just go ahead and get your Addy, get her today. I mean, she's a beautiful doll. Her hair is really not a big deal. If you have any comments or questions, of course, leave a comment and I'll respond to it as soon as I see it. And hopefully you won't pass Addy by just because she's such a pretty doll. So get her today. Bye.